Are you a gambling man?
No, I'm not.
See, I get addicted. I get an itch to just, hey, how about I throw all my life savings on red? You know what I mean? I get the itch.
See, if I did that, I would still only put like 25 cents on red. So,
Well, let me put you in this situation. Okay.
all right.
Say you were a gambling man. Say you were into sports way more than you actually were.
Okay.
At the beginning of last year, I believe, you pay $13 and you get to pick every champion of major league sports. Okay.
Okay.
All of them. Except this one didn't have soccer. But you pay 13 and you pick the Dodgers to win the World Series,
Okay.
and they do.
Okay.
You pick the New York Liberty to win the WNBA championship, and they do.
Okay.
You pick the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, and they do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And now your $13 bet has a chance to turn into $270,761 if the Oilers and the Thunders win, and the Thunder wins. Okay?
Okay.
That's what's on the line. Now, right now, the Thunder and Pacers are tied 1-1, and the Florida Panthers are up on the Oilers 2-1 in the series, in a 7-game series.
Okay.
And if you cash out right now, you get $107,683. Are you taking it, or are you letting it ride?
See, there comes it's only $13. I'm technically losing if the bet goes, right?
I don't know. You're losing $120,000
no,
in my opinion.
See, that's where the other part comes
that
from.
math doesn't work. That math doesn't work out. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's where the other path comes in. Where it's like, well, it could hit it, but I'm already at 100 and something thousand. You said, right?
Yeah.
So like, I could take that and it'd still be life-changing money. I think I personally would probably taking it.
It's hard.
I'd rather
to
in
turn
on a
down
win,
100K.
a surefire win, than a possible loss.
It's hard to turn down 100K.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
The issue is the closer series is behind the hockey. So say like the Thunder and the Pacers go to a game 7, everything on the line. But before that happens, the Panthers beat the Oilers in 6. Then it's like, I can't. How many games would you let it ride out right now, or would you press the button to cash out right
They get 2 games. If the first one's a win and the second one's a loss, sure. If they're both losses, I think I'm pulling.
I'm saying, dude, if both teams lose twice, the Oilers are gone. But if it's like, I'm letting it ride for a couple games. Right?
I'm letting it ride to be as much of a possibility as it can be. But if it's like going to be like, if it's looking not in their favor, I'm going to pull out.
The risk of that, though, say the Panthers win another game. Now they're up 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
That cash out number is probably going to drop like 20-30 grand.
That's fine. Out of 100, I'm cool.
That's fine. You still get 70-80K.
Yeah.
That's 100. That's 100K.
I think I'm pulling out at what I'm positive it's going to be for, at least the 100 plus K.
It would be the guy who made this bet is just letting it ride, because you did say it is $13.
That's the money he put in,
but if
that would be the money he loses.
But if it's like game 7 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals and then game 6 of the NBA Finals, and the Oilers lose, and then because one of those teams lose, it's over. It's gone. You're not getting anything.
Yeah, I just can't get past the feeling of like my stomach dropping to like seeing if it's like 6 out of 7, 7 out or 6 out of 6 or whatever the fuck. I can't stomach the feeling of just going downhill and just like, damn, I almost fucking had it. The hopes I would have had for that would have just been too high.
The thought of having the Pacers win or the Thunder go and win the championship, and then the Oilers lose in like a game 7 overtime goal. Ah. That's a terrorist level crash out. That's
like,
what's gonna happen.
Like,
right
you're
there.
so close, but you only put in $13, so it's like, sure, I'm not losing much, but I could have had so much more.
In the midst of this, do you think you would play the lottery?
No.
If, the Dodgers, the Liberty, the Eagles win, and then the Thunder and the Oilers make the finals, I'm buying me a lottery ticket.
If the bet pans out, yeah, I might buy a lottery ticket and see if I can push that luck.
By the way, that's not what I flashed it on camera. It's not what.
Yeah.
It really sucks. I can't think of the name right now because that's unfortunate.
That's truly unfortunate. It's just sitting there.
Iodine.
Oh,
iodine?
No.
Iodine.
It's dark, isn't it?
No. Huh?
Iodine's darker in color, isn't it?
Iodine.
Oh,
this
the
is
light
supposed to
makes
be
it
pink.
just look white. I don't.
I should have just said it's drywall.
Or lotion.
But no,
maybe.
I've been on the edge of sports gambling, but I know I wouldn't.
There's nothing that's like enough to draw me into sports gambling.
I don't think I make enough money to promote the habit that I definitely would have.
And I think also same because I have an addictive personality, and imagine as soon as I start, I wouldn't stop.
Also, if you're like a diehard fan of a certain team, I don't think you should be sports betting. Because legitimately, I'd put money on the Titans every year.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't. But every August, I'm like, they're saying some good things about Cam Ward.
I don't know. It's looking good this season,
Come on.
Might as well put a little money in here. A little 13,000.
When is the last time you were in a stadium during a sporting event or a concert or whatever?
Sporting event would have been last January.
Did you spend money on concessions?
Yes.
My grandfather just informed me because we went over yesterday to get that Kentucky Derby pie I'm having tonight. Quick little side note, Kentucky Derby pie is probably like one of my favorite desserts.
Mm-hmm.
I think, do you remember me describing it to you?
Yes, and I wanted it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, it's pecan pie with chocolate chips and Kentucky bourbon in it. But my lady was laughing at me because I watered her down, I whittled her down to give me a little piece before dinner, even though she was like, "You're not getting," and I was like, but I had me a little piece and I was playing the game, and she was talking and she just stopped because I was eating, going, I turned and she was like, I said, "What is good, dog?"
Like, is it good, fat ass?
Oh, and she's made, for those of you, it's my birthday.
Yes,
today.
I was going to bring it up. Fuck you. Happy birthday, Jack.
My fault.
For those who don't know,
My fault.
today, the day we are recording, is his birthday. He's turning 25 or 52, he said.
Yeah, I said 52.
Yeah, he's turning 52.
Yeah.
But happy birthday, buddy.
I appreciate it. But we're having, she's making me a whole birthday dinner. And she considers it weird that it's a dinner that she would just normally make, but I love it.
I mean, what's
fried
wrong with
pork
liking
chops,
your girls cooking?
Dude, fried pork chops with white gravy, green beans, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, and a roll. And then that pie is a dessert. Fucking it
All
up.
right, when's dinner?
Yo, let me.
I can be there in an hour.
I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, so imagine you just like Dobby just, and you're here.
Yep.
But no, back on track. My grandfather went to the rodeo that came to town a couple days ago, a week ago maybe, and he said he went to go buy just a tall boy, just a 24-ounce can of beer. Guess how much it was?
If it's anything like Nashville, probably like $18.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I'm not paying no $18 for a beer. I don't like beer, but if I did, $18?
Yeah,
that's
funnily
ridiculous.
enough, that's gone up $6 in like the last 3 years, as far as I can remember.
When I used to go to Sounds games back in the day, they'd be like $8.
Yeah, when I was
and not saying I would get them, but the prices I would see, they'd be like $8 and maybe a couple more dollars when you want imported beers. But
yeah,
now, oh my God.
Yeah, when I was in college, I was in a frat, and we went to work concessions at a Titans game for some volunteer shit, and I think we were selling tall boys for like $12 a can. I'm just like, dude, what?
Concession stand prices have always been a meme.
Yeah.
But I hope with this new Titan Stadium, they kind of take the approach of the Atlanta Falcons. And I know that that's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Because they want to drain every ounce of that. We were having this conversation, dude. The Falcons have free refill machines all over that stadium.
Well,
you could just take your cup up and get a free refill.
So does the Titans Stadium, the current one.
Does it?
I thought so.
I haven't been to a Titans game in a hot minute.
It's been more than a few years since I've been to that stadium in general. So
the closest thing I got to that was my grandfather was a season ticket holder for the Predators. Mm-hmm. Unfortunate name.
Yeah.
And he, with that ticket, he got bottomless popcorn. But I've never seen refill stations anywhere other than Atlanta.
The last game, at least I can remember going to, I don't believe it had, and we were in Ohio. I don't believe it had any free refill stations.
But in Atlanta, dude, a burger and fries, if you get it at Bridgestone Arena, $20.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you get it in Atlanta, $13, which is still like
still high, but it's not like super unreasonable for a sports stadium.
Yeah, it's going to like Logan's and getting, a burger or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I would be completely fine with. There's no reason it should be $20, $25. Those are not gourmet Wagyu burgers, dude.
I have worked behind those counters. They are nothing about that is decent to be that expensive.
No. I drove past where they're building the new stadium just to see how it's going. And I hate, when I first saw the look, have you seen the look of the new Titan Stadium?
No.
When you look at it, you're like, yeah, that's a building that'd be in Nashville, right?
Okay.
And I hate that. I hate that. Just because, like, if you flew over the skyline with Nissan Stadium or LP Field, what it was called back in the day, immediately you're like, that's where the Titans play. But now with this building, like, yeah, it's going to be in the same spot, but it's just going to kind of melt into Nashville. You're just going to be like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a building that Nashville would have.
That is a modern Nashville apartment building or office building.
It's so square.
It is. It's and like I said, like it looks like Nashville.
Yeah,
but
it's like
I wish it would just been a little more unique.
Renovated downtown Nashville building, like. Yeah.
And you look at like every other stadium across, every other like new one, like the Vikings is relatively new and it sticks out like a sore thumb. The Raiders, relatively new, sticks out. The Bills are getting a new one that isn't really much of a change from what I hear. Maybe an indoor kind of thing.
Yeah, the US Bank Stadium looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess it's
out
just
for sure.
It seems like the Titans are a little late in terms of the modern type of design that the country was moving towards. And now we're like, oh, that was a mistake. Everything looks the same.
Yeah.
Everything looks ugly. So now you have, I believe I sent you a snap. Dude, the Mountain Dew logo that they're rolling out now, which is just the old one from like the 80s or the 90s. That looks so much better than any logo they used past 2000.
Yeah, they're what's it? Return to Monkey. They're going back to their old days. Yeah, the modern designs in just about anything nowadays, it's just bland and the same.
Yeah, it's easy to pick on, but especially like the buildings. I was so tired of like Taco Bell and McDonald's and everybody having the same building.
Yeah.
It's the same black basic. Give me the red roof with the yellow lines from McDonald's.
Might as well throw a play
You know
place
what I mean?
back in that bitch.
But you got like Burger King going back to their old logo.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Taco Bell going back to their old logo.
See if Wendy's is going back to their old one. I don't think Wendy's has changed.
And they
much, has
should.
they? Yeah, they have.
Dude, if you go back and you watch like 2000s media, music videos, TV shows, and movies, it's so much more colorful than now. It's so much more vibrant, and I miss that.
Yeah, they're well, I mean, Wendy's hasn't really changed too much from their newer old logo in general, so
I believe just less blue, right?
it's just less Western looking, I guess. More rounded letters.
Let me tell you something. Wendy's just made me think of Little Debbie's, and let me tell y'all something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would do unholy things
Oh,
to get a sniff of Miss Freshly's. I'm just gonna say it. Whoever Miss Freshly is, I want in.
Says dibs immediately.
Oh my god, dude. The treats are better. I'm so fat. The treats are better. I got diabetes. They're cheaper than Little Debbie's. Dude. I'm telling you, there'd be a whole lot of sinning if you locked me in a room with whoever Miss Freshly
Lord.
is. There'd be a whole lot of dirty sinning. The devil would be like, Jesus, man.
I don't think well, you have any preferences on age?
No.
That's what I thought. Oh, I don't see anything. I looked up the original Miss Freshly.
Oh my god, dude. Like, I've never been a Hostess person, and Little Debbie's has always been like, okay.
Mhm.
And I know, like, coming from a fat guy, like, really? You telling the truth,
Yeah.
fat boy? Yes. Like, the best treat to me is the Christmas tree cake and the oatmeal cream pie. And both of those, it has a cap. It has a limit on how good it can be.
I'm gonna just stick with the honey bun.
Miss Freshly's blows them out of the fucking water. And it's not close.
I'm gonna just stick with the honey bun. I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I'll eat them because they're not bad, but I don't think I'd ever pick them out.
And dude, Amazon does us so dirty. So dirty. They have, the whole kiosk set up. You can, on break, buy yourself a drink and whatever.
Yeah.
They have sandwiches. They have frozen burritos, but they also have like, bags of chips and beef jerky. But they also have candy bars. And recently I went up there because I forgot to pack me a drink, so I grabbed me a water.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up to the stand. I was like, I don't have a lot in my bag, so let me see what they're working with. Right next to the pay where you pay,
Mm-hmm.
I look down and I see Miss Freshly's cupcakes. Not only do I see Miss Freshly's cupcakes, they are Reese's peanut butter Miss Freshly's cupcakes.
Oh, okay.
Looking up at me and going, "Hey, how's it going?"
I see you right there. Want me to come with?
And I was like, no, no, we must stay strong, my brothers. And then I scanned it.
Must stay strong. Immediately scans and buys it. Okay, yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
I guess that's fair.
You should have seen the way it was looking at me, dog.
Had those big brown eyes.
Absolutely. And it was so good.
I bet it fucking was.
Oh my god, dude. My toes are definitely going missing for the next couple of years.
So have they numb yet?
Oh man, dude. Sometimes I gotta get out of bed and wiggle them.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Nasty work. I'm trying. I'm really, like, this past week when I went to the store, I tried to get more fruits and vegetables. But even when you do that, I usually go in the morning, and my favorite fast food breakfast is Taco Bell breakfast. There's a Taco Bell right across the street.
I went on.
By the way, don't have Taco Bell for breakfast.
Yeah, no,
don't have Taco
not
Bell
a great
for
idea.
breakfast. That'll put you at home, especially when you're working overnight. You get home and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to sleep." Run to the toilet.
Yeah, I went on like a gigantic grocery shopping trip. Now I have to like make sure I stop going out to eat in all the unhealthy places.
Yeah.
And I might, yeah, no, I'll do it today. I'll cook today.
I did just get paid. What's open? What's open on DoorDash at midnight? What's going on?
That's the thing right there that gets me. I'm just like, man, it's late at night. I'm hungry and I don't want to cook a whole meal. So, what we got?
I'm not tired. I know I got PB&J in the fridge, but like,
shit, I don't even have bread.
a McChicken.
I forgot about that one.
A McChicken. Dude, there's times where I'm like, we have nothing in the fridge, just staring at a loaf of bread and peanut butter and jam, and it's like, really? Really, we don't have anything.
I've got like 3/4 of a meal right now. I gotta get the other 25% when I go out later.
Driving home from picking the lady up, and she's like, I don't want to cook, and we don't have anything quick. While there's bread and lunch meat and bags of chips, and we pass Cookout, and it's just like, hey, you want a little Cajun sandwich? Huh? You want a Cajun chicken sandwich?
Yep. Answer will be yes.
Dude, Cookout has been treating me right recently.
I haven't been in a minute.
What they did. Dude, their fries have been on point recently. And that is usually a weak spot at Cookout. They're crispy and fresh. My God.
I'll go again another day. We'll see.
I will say the last time I pulled up to the window and we heard over the drive-through speaker a lady going, now I want fresh fries. They're frozen. They're frozen. How fresh do you think you're getting? It's frozen crinkle fries, dude.
Hey, I mean, I can't argue for it. I don't know.
That's how you listen. I shit on myself a lot for the amount of fast food I eat. Mm-hmm. I gotta change it.
Yeah.
And I know that. But at least I don't pull up to the window talking about, hey, whip me up a fresh batch of fries. I know what I'm getting myself into. I don't have these unreasonable expectations.
I'm assuming they mean freshly cooked. Because, I mean, yeah. They're not holding potatoes in store like that. I don't think, at least.
No, they're not Five Guys.
Yeah. And they're fucking...
But it's still, dude.
Barrels.
It's like, I want my fries hot and fresh. You're at McDonald's. Just take the fries. Now, and that's better, honestly, to me, because when you do go to a place like McDonald's and you do get a fresh batch of fries, you're like, it's going to be a good day today.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good fucking day
if you
today.
eat them in the car, going to wherever you're going.
Yeah. Especially when you got to...
Yeah.
It's a good day.
My family would order their fries without salt just so they can get a fresh batch.
Really?
Yeah.
There are some places that'll fuck you up with the salt.
They'll just get like 2 packs of salt and pour it on the fries.
I will say, talking about like Cookout, dude, the most disrespectful thing they do is I love their Cajun seasoning. Mm-hmm. But when you get Cajun fries, they just put their regular fries and dump Cajun seasoning in the middle of them. What is that?
I think no matter what size fries you order at Cookout, you're just getting the large.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've ordered, like, the little fries just because it was, like, already $5. And I get the bag. And, yeah, the cup's full and it's tiny, but so is half my bag. So.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Which, by the way, how do you get the large cup full of, like, cane sauce? Is that actually a thing you can ask for?
What?
In so many, like, food videos I see when they go to, like, Cane's, Raising Cane's, they have, like, a large drink cup full of sauce.
I don't know. That sounds...
I've always wanted...
like, unnecessary.
If we went to Cookout, my lady would get a full cup of quesadilla sauce. Have you ever had that quesadilla sauce?
I haven't. At least not that I've noticed.
Oh my god. It's so good, dude.
I usually get like fries or onion rings when I get sides. So
It's like that quesadilla sauce on onion rings would be fire. Fire. I would say it's like a better version of Taco Bell's Chipotle sauce. If that makes sense.
I don't remember their Chipotle sauce at all.
You don't get a lot of the Chipotle sauce?
Nah, I usually just get hot or fire.
No, like what has the Chipotle sauce at Taco Bell that I remember? I think the quesarito had it. If you ever ate the quesarito.
That's all I usually eat. I guess I probably have had it then.
You know what?
I don't remember it. So
I don't want to incriminate ourselves any further with the fattiness, with the diabetic talk.
I mean, we were already there.
Even though I told my lady, I was like, I'll eat that whole pie right now. She was like, no.
Not if I get there first.
Your leg will fall off. Do you understand?
And you'll be sideways drunk.
No, but I have really gotten into Hogwarts Legacy the past couple days.
I noticed you were playing it earlier, and then you sent me a snap of your wife playing it. So,
yeah, dude, I've been playing it a lot, and I told you the dialogue is still boring.
Oh yeah,
I almost slammed my head against the entertainment center having to listen to the dialogue.
Yeah,
it's so boring. But what really got me into it was the Room of Requirement, how customizable it is, and then you get a place that you can put animals, and you can customize that there too. I don't know. It's something about video games that allow you to carve out this little space in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Customize it how you want. Put whatever you want in it. Well,
Room of Requirement and shit.
To some degree.
Yeah.
It's just... And I was telling you about like Jedi Survivor, why it's so replayable to me is I can keep putting stuff and upgrading things in the saloon that your buddy runs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something about games. I think
you leave your mark and it actually be like your game, your story.
Yeah. Because you can go to like my Room of Requirement is so much different than my lady's, and I like that.
Yeah.
It adds a little personal touch to the game.
Yeah, mine is like
and
laid out and just function.
Yeah, but that it gets to a point though in that game. The combat is somewhat fun, and
I'm fine with the combat.
Of it is just the combat can get repetitive.
Yeah,
but you just got to mix up your spells a little bit and it's just add variety. But the voice acting and the dialogue and the cutscenes are horrible. And like the shops are bad, dude. Why when you go to the clothing shop you just have one screen that has a mixture of hats, glasses, suits, coats, whatever. Why is it a mixture? Why are they not in categories? And why is it only a select of like 20 items?
I've only ever used the shops to go buy seeds unless it was story related. That I just never did any other way. If I like needed to get rid of clothes, I would destroy them. I figure I should start selling them, but I don't really spend the coins I get. So
yeah, the only time I destroy something is when I'm in a cave and it says that my gear is full.
If I'm like anywhere outside of Hogsmeade, I'm just going to destroy it.
Yeah, but it's just like, and just an example of the voice acting. I got to the part where you are going through Salazar Slytherin's little thing, and you have to use Crucio on someone to get through. And I chose for dude to use it on me. And I was like, I know this is going to be bad. Because up until this point, you hear, you know, he's talking about how like he had to do it as a kid. And the screams of the people that he did it on haunt him to this day. And I was like, okay, let's see how the voice actor does this. What's going to happen here?
Yeah.
And he hits my guy with it. And he literally just falls to the ground, holding his stomach, going, ah! Oh, and I'm like, you just got a shit, bro.
That's hilarious.
You just got a little stomach cramp. That doesn't seem that bad. He got up and they were like, are you okay? And he was like, the pain was excruciating. But no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
You just got off a little bit. That wasn't excruciating pain.
Dude, you just puked in the corner and said, I'm good. That's not excruciating. You're drunk.
You're on drugs, not excruciating pain.
You need to puke a little bit and you be all right.
No, a lot of the voice acting in that game, especially when you like have my character, his voice is like supposed to be like one of the lowest options you can pick, but you can very much tell that it's just like voice changer down kind of shit.
Yeah.
So like anything that just involves any sort of yelling or anything is just like I can hear hear it, and I can hear the auto tune, I guess.
And it sounds synthetic a lot.
Yeah.
And plus I hate the whole lack of emotion, or like there was one scenario where I returned this little kid to her mother, to his mother, and she was like, run inside, and he was like, yes, right away. And he just stood there. Because there was no, and also, dude, in video games, when it's like, oh, I retrieved this item, here you go. And there's not even emotion of like the arm moving.
Yeah.
It's just they look at each other and they're like, here you go. Oh, thank you so much. I hate it.
Here you go. I will just teleport this into your inventory now.
Where did you put that? I just like... And I don't know how big of a budget they had, but it must have been pretty big. That game is massive.
That game is huge. Yeah.
That game is massive, dude. But
and there's a bunch of random encounters.
If you walk up to like a cave, you have to walk up to it and press square.
Press and hold square, yep.
And there's water you can go to where you can dive for objects, and you don't dive. You just go over a spot, press a button, and go under.
Yep.
It's lame.
Yep. They could have. There's some parts of it that they seem to have focused on a lot, and that's a lot of the spells. Even though like there's the two fire spells are basically the same after you get them to level to a certain point.
Yeah,
one is just definitely longer ranged. But I mean, there's Hogwarts. You can explore like every bit of that.
I think I heard someone say best, and if you're a fan of Hogwarts, it might have been you. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, you're probably going to love that game, get into it a lot. But if you're not really a fan of it, it might be okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But that, and I've decided that Jedi Survivor, the game that I would constantly complain about, how annoying it was, how glitchy it was.
Yeah.
I've decided to try to beat that on its hardest difficulty. Why? Because I hate myself.
You did mention that.
And that's it.
How was that going?
Yeah, I'm second level.
I think I'm running on like my third playthrough of Spider-Man. So I never did finish the second, which I started on New Game Plus on its hardest difficulty.
When I knew it was going to be rough was when I got to a stage on the first level where in the original, like just easy, medium difficulties, it's just a room full of stormtroopers and maybe one or two scout troopers or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, rocket launchers, purge troopers, and a big ass robot that will just come out of nowhere and just spin and swing his shit at you. And I'm just like, and there's a room where you sneak into, easy, medium difficulty. It's just, couple stormtroopers, like I said, couple stormtroopers and yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy to deal with once you know the mechanics of the game. But now they added 3 flamethrowers. So while you're trying to fight, these guys are cornering you in this small ass room, surrounding you with flames.
That sounds fun.
And I'm like, God damn.
Did you make it past that part, or is that where you just left off for the day?
No, I almost did.
Oh.
I was so mad. Plus, there's no like checkpoint.
Oh,
the checkpoints are the meditation spots.
Oh, yeah, I remember
that. Sometimes that meditation spot is so far from where you died.
Wasn't that the same way with Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my little sister laughed at me because she was watching me play it, and I died to whatever. And I said, it was the first time I died in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if this spawns me all the way back to where I think it's going to put me, I'm turning the game off. and it did. And I turned the game off.
Hell yeah.
But I decided, like, I love that game. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to force myself to do it on the hardest difficulty. That's
sounds like it'd be a thing.
Yeah, and luckily I've gotten control of my rage now. I still hit something. Every now and then I'll get to a point where I punch something, but usually I just sit in the chair going, of course. Of course.
I guess it's just me.
Why would that not kill me?
Yeah, sounds about right. I was looking at the price of these games, and they are still Fallen Order is still $69.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It came out in 2019. That's ridiculous. That's a 6-year-old game.
It came out in
with
2019?
Yeah.
Which one was on Xbox 360? Well, there was the one with Star Killer.
Yeah, that's Star Wars Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I could remember.
I've also gotten slowly back into Rivals. I still don't play a ton of it because I open it and I'm like, I'm down for 1 or 2 games.
I go into Rivals now to play the missions and then to maybe play a few like quick match games, but I just haven't touched like ranked at all this season.
It's ridiculous that I haven't touched it a whole lot and it's season 2, but I look at the hours. I have like over 200 hours in the game.
Let's see what my hours are. I'm actually curious now.
That is so ridiculous for a game that I don't care that much about anymore.
For a game that I haven't played like really in the last few days, I have 320 hours in, so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got called a goated Star-Lord, though.
I jumped in on Ultron and like MVP just about every game we won with him, so.
The last game I played, I hopped into it, and I know the meta right now is running Iron Man and Ultron.
Somewhat, yeah.
And I was in quick play, and I saw them two in the sky, and I just quit. I was like,
just
why
take
are
a
you
hit
running
scan
this?
and shoot him down.
No, I'm not dealing with it. I'm just like, I'll deal with it in competitive because I'm competitive.
Yeah.
But when I'm like trying out a new character or I'm just trying to have a chill match, for people to be doing that shit, no, I'm not doing it.
I mean, it's going to happen. Might as well just play it out.
And I'm going to quit. Because you get that penalty, I'll just exit the game. Like I would if I
have
cared.
To just sit there to let the penalty play out. Like, if you get a 15-minute penalty and you like close the game, it's going to start back up where you left off.
It's never started back up on me.
Oh, it happened for me because I got disconnected from a game because my game crashed, and when I joined back, it booted me from like ranked matchmaking, and then I closed the game, came back the next day, and it was still at like 13 minutes.
Yeah, I think if you quit a ranked match, it'll fuck with you. But if you quit a quick play match, they don't care.
Oh yeah,
they might put a thing on you if you try to go back into another game.
Yeah, we've left quick play matches just as easy, or pretty easily.
Yeah, and people might call me a pussy for that. I don't care. It's quick play.
Yeah.
It's quick play. It's quick play.
Might as well play it out. Yeah. It's quick play. It doesn't matter.
An easy. I love how easy of an out that is. By the way, we played a quick play match and got toasted, and one of our teammates was like, "Y'all suck." And first of all, that's one of the mindsets that got me off this game.
Yeah.
But second of all, I just quick play. It's quick play. I'm playing with characters I don't like.
Playing with characters I don't know. It's quick play.
But hopping back in, I get why they reduced Rocket's jetpack.
I hate it.
I hate it though. It makes it so much harder to escape. And I know that was the point.
Trying to escape, I realized how much harder it fucking made, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's no way.
The buff to his ultimate was really needed though. Like, as much as I was a Rocket defender, and will still state that he was getting too much hate, adding a shield boost
and regen,
to his ult
and health regen.
Needed. And I'm very happy that happened.
And especially on top of the damage boost, it's just so great.
Yeah. And I still hop in. I have a lot of fun playing Rocket. I have more fun playing Loki because it's fun. When you get good with Loki, my God, it's fun.
It's the splash damage that was like the barrier for me to getting better with Loki, because now he's like on a semi-decent rotation of players I can play now.
Yeah. And his ult is so good, but my God, the amount of times I've been stepped in front when I'm trying to do a cloak and dagger or miss invisible ult. I usually I know a lot of people use damage ults for Loki, and I'll try to do that when
I focus healing ults most of the time.
That's the primary focus, is support ults. But when I swear to God, a Captain America stepped in front of me, and I was like, your ult is one of the worst in the game. Why?
Yeah, I was playing Loki once, and I saw a cloak and dagger. They came to me, like, directly into my face, ulting. So I was going to ult them, and somehow it picked up, I think it was holy shit, what was her name? Diamond. I forgot her fucking name already. Emma Frost, yes. It picked up Emma Frost, who was like 3 players deep, and I don't know how. Yeah. And I was just like, cool. That everybody's like across the map from me right now. I have to run in and then try and do something with this.
And getting back on, I realize that tank, and I hate having this debate, but I was pretty much able to slip right back into damage or support roles. Tank role I still blow at. It's hard. Like, I was getting pretty good with Magneto and Thor, but since I've been out of practice, I hopped into Magneto and got my ass kicked, dude.
Yeah, I started playing Mag actually semi recently, and I mean I'm picking him up, but it's difficult.
It's just not as fun being like Magneto is a good character and can be fun. But not as fun as when you're Thor slinging around the map, beating the shit out of everybody.
Magneto's just kind of slow moving, but he's just in front. So,
yeah. That, I'm getting back into my X-Men hyper obsession again.
I need to finish out X-Men 97. I did start it, and I was giving you my notes throughout it. And I'm at the last 2 episodes of the season, and it's just fucking out of nowhere, I guess.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, I know the last couple episodes kind of sort of feel disjointed from the rest.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just, it came out of nowhere. It's suddenly you're in space.
But spoilers, Gambit became my favorite character the same episode that he died.
I've already made it that far.
Dude, I just man, that was the first time I had the experience my wife has, because she'll pick a favorite character and they'll immediately die. I was like, no. And then I heard people talking about oh, they got to bring him back. They're always coming. Don't bring him back.
He's dead.
Don't bring him back. I know in comic books, it's every character is not really dead, but that's just not going to be the same for TV shows and movies.
Yeah, especially if they take place in the same universe.
And it's not like he went off screen and then you saw an explosion and everybody was like, oh, he couldn't have made it.
He sacrificed his shit in front of the camera.
Rogue was holding him. Yeah, Rogue was holding him saying, I can't feel you. He had a funeral. Yeah. But it made me love Nightcrawler. I get the hype for Nightcrawler now.
I was going to say, I don't even think I have a favorite character picked out from watching that show. Everybody's just kind of got their own pluses and minuses for me.
Yeah. But I think, honestly, the relationship and the dynamic between Magneto and Charles Xavier is top 3 in fiction, period.
I can agree with that, yeah.
We've had the debate on who's right, but what I'm talking about is the love, the unconditional love they have for one another.
He was a good friend,
you know,
as we've stated before.
And that scene where Magneto is talking to Rogue, which you can clown on after this, you know, what we talked about.
Yeah.
But when he said that he convinced himself he needed the helmet to avoid Charles's, you know, telekinetic powers, but it was really just so he couldn't feel the presence of him. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And it shows just how strong their bond is, even though they're on two opposite sides of this war for mutants or whatever. There's two clashing philosophies. I think, and even, you know, it's always been a thing, not just that show. Have you seen the original X-Men trilogy in the early 2000s?
Yeah, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, X2?
Well, that came after, but X-Men X2, and X-Men Last Stand,
Days of Future Past. I've seen it. I mean, I came after
all that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen all that, yeah.
But there's a scene where Pyro's walking next to Magneto, and it was after, spoilers for a 25-year-old movie, Charles dies, Phoenix kills him, and Pyro's like, man, I would have set that old man ablaze, you just had to say the word. And Magneto just turned to him and said, Charles Xavier did more for mutants than you will ever in your lifetime and in the next lifetime will do.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just like the respect and the love and the care and the brotherhood.
Like they knew they were against each other, but they were really good friends. They were brothers beforehand, pretty much.
Yeah. And even in the old show, because I told you I've watched all seasons but the last of the X-Men 90s show. There is one series of episodes where they both go to a certain island because they are convinced the other one is in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's real friendship there.
And last thing I want to say on that, and this is going to be a weird thing to talk about during Pride Month.
Okay.
How do you feel about straight characters being shipped for one another?
It's like kind of annoying because it's like it won't happen, but also I don't care because it's usually going to be fan fiction anyways.
Yeah.
So
I don't care unless you get really obnoxious with it. Like Jensen Ackles was pretty sick of being shipped with Dean being shipped with Castiel just because he heard about it all the fucking time. And he was so tired of it.
Yeah.
But I usually don't care, and I just let it pass. You can have your little whatever. But I feel like when it comes to Magneto and Charles, there's people that legitimately are like, they're gay for each other. They are they want to have sex with one another, and it's obvious. I feel like that is... I feel like it just puts into question the relationship a man can have with another man. It's like, oh, you're close? You must be gay. Oh, you care about one another? You must be gay. Yeah. Oh, you would travel somewhere if you thought they were in trouble? You're gay.
Everything gets blown out of the waters the moment there is any sort of relationship to be had, whether it's friendship or anything else. It's just kind of like somebody's going to think of what would it be if they got together. And that's where all the stuff I see from. I mean, I do know of the people that are just like, yeah, Charles and Mag, yeah, no, they're gay for each other. I've know people that are just like that, but that's not the basis of the views I see, or at least from people around me.
I think my frustration just comes from how I want to see masculinity portrayed in the world. And I feel like two respectable leaders of the community, whatever red pill shit you want to put on them.
Yeah.
But two men having a deep connection and unconditional love for each other automatically being labeled as gay, and because they care so much and want to help each other and maybe even sacrifice themselves for each other, that makes them gay. They can't be a straight man and do that. I don't care if you want to make two straight characters, you want to write a little story about them being gay. I usually don't care, but in that instance, it irks me. And I'm not going to say anything, but every time I see it,
it's also
like,
based on what you think of that relationship. Like you say, like the way you talk about it, you seem to have like super deep respect for like their actual like bromance, like how their relationship is. And for somebody to like kind of trash on that just by, that's gay, it's just kind of annoying and irritating. It's just like, not for that one, at least,
Yeah, and trashing on it, I want to be careful to not be labeled like, oh, you just don't like gay people. Then again, if you heard what I said and you come away with he's homophobic, you're an idiot.
You didn't listen to a single fucking word that was said.
Quick little rant, dude. I hate when YouTubers have to explain, or anybody has to explain every little fucking word they say. It is all over, especially when I watch like a streamer post a video and they just say something of like, yeah, I think it's illogical to believe in God. That's my point of view. I'm not saying you're illogical. Like, I watched this whole guy have this long ass explanation for why he doesn't believe in God. And one of his chatters was like, oh, so like you hate God and people who worship God are stupid. And he went into an explanation, but that might be why I could never be a streamer, because I would just say, you're banned. You're banned for a month.
Yeah, I think
don't come back.
That comes with there are so many people in the world that there's always going to be that one person that will not hear what you just fucking said. So they'll put uncommon or whatever, and it'll be like, is that what the fuck you just said? Like, is that how you're saying that? And somebody else is going to be like, I didn't think that's what he said, but now you've saying that he said it, I'm going to comment this shit too. Kind of just...
And I'm going to call you a fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's
no comprehension skills, no bitches, slow mind, graduate high school, you fucking loser. Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel like that's why you have to explain what you mean half the time, because if there's the slightest doubt, somebody's going to take it that way.
Yeah. And it leaks into everything, dude. Like, I'll make a video talking about how, the big debate right now is Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Is, who's better? And I think Lamar is better. But people say, oh, so Josh Allen sucks? That's not what I fucking said. Did I say that?
Yeah, that's just fan fanaticism.
Dude, and it's especially, someone was talking about this whole Aaron Rodgers situation.
Jesus Christ.
And they were like, they had to bring up Colin Kaepernick. They just had to. They were like, oh, it's ridiculous. Can we fucking get off Colin Kaepernick?
I'm just surprised Aaron Rodgers got drafted again, or at least got into a team.
Dude, it's because the Steelers bet everything on him. They bet everything on him. They drafted Will Howard out of Ohio State. Not going to be anything. Going to be a career backup. I apologize, Will Howard, but that's just what it is. Okay?
Maybe he might turn it up for the NFL,
But my God, this dude just had to end with like, oh, it's crazy. Aaron Rodgers does this, but Colin Kaepernick, yada, yada, yada. I'm so fucking tired of explaining why Colin Kaepernick is out of the NFL and was never going to come back. I'm so tired of it. But as soon as you say, yo, that point's kind of weak. Oh, you're racist. That's what you are. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
The Steelers, that's just, yeah, I'll see. I want to see what happens there. My roommate's going to a few of their games.
You have a bit of a bias.
Yeah.
Old Ravens flock over here. You want to see them lose.
I mean, of course.
Which is probably because they're betting their Super Bowl hopes on a 41-year-old quarterback who isn't shit.
He's
and is 40s,
annoying. So.
Dude, I was scrolling Instagram and people were like, oh, there's a wedding ring. Aaron Rodgers got married. Who cares?
He's 40 years old.
Who cares? Why are you upset? It's so fucking annoying.
This is a grown-ass man who probably shouldn't be still in the NFL, but he is.
And when I read shit like that, I don't mean to be Jaden Smith, why don't we talk about the socioeconomic
Political
state of the world
yeah.
right now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to say that, but when I see post after post after post, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers got married. Did you hear Aaron Rodgers got? I'm like, Trump just sent the military to LA.
Yeah.
And he's threatening to arrest Gavin Newsom for nothing other than he disagrees with him. And we're talking about this?
Yeah. A 40-year-old got married. What is that? I always want to ask people that are that are on social media talking about this shit. Like, okay, what does this have to do with you or anything that you care about?
I will never get the obsession with celebrities to that point.
Yeah.
Like, I will get random videos on my For You page talking about, like, oh, this person did this, even though they got cheated on by this person, and they're also, and I'm like, why is your nose shoved so far into their business? Why?
Yeah, what's her name? That was Ariel in that one movie? Halle Bailey? And her man?
Okay.
That situation?
Okay.
You know about that?
I don't know anything about it.
She was like threatening to abort their kid, and like
Jesus.
Yeah, and was like she's like, I have a knife, I have your gun. This is all fucked up, like shit like that. I have to beat that out, but
I have a knife. I have a gun.
Yeah, like she took his gun and was like dipped and was just like, this is all fucked up. And he's like, bring the gun back. You don't know what you're fucking doing. Like,
and
that's all I hear about
like
now.
If it's a celebrity I care about, I'll be like,
I don't.
And I
barely fucking remembered her name, so I don't care.
Yeah, it definitely was not Halle Berry. But
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about DDG and fucking... Yeah, no. I've caught glimpses of that, but I genuinely
don't care.
Streamers give me a headache. Streamers give me a headache, period. All of them. I've never tuned into a stream in my life. There's a reaction video on Joe Bart. He's entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. I watch the YouTube videos. I've never tuned into a stream. And there was one point he said, like, who gets off work and says, I'm going to turn on this stream? And I'm like, hey, nobody gets off work and gets on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Twitch is for teenagers who are doing high school homework. That's it.
I don't ever... I have a Twitch account. I've had one for years. I've never, watched a stream on it. As far as I can remember.
When I was young, I watched a stream. When I was little, and even then I would tune in for maybe 30 minutes before I'm like, you know what?
I'll wait for this to be a video because it's kind of boring as a stream is my thing.
Yeah, I just
you get all the wait times and you get the downtime in between all the action. It's just like, oh, okay.
You may clown the attention span because I can't, but I can watch a movie. A movie doesn't have.
I can watch a movie.
Something funny happened, and then it's 20 minutes of oh yeah, that's crazy. Oh, we're going to do this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a movie is always progress the point there that keeps me entertained. I just can't when there's just kind of sitting there waiting on a match to load up.
But you reminded me with that whole I have a knife, I have a gun. Have you ever seen that old 1960s Spider-Man show?
No.
There's a portion in it where Spider-Man has gone through several cloning events.
Okay.
And they were doing that in this show. And Peter's clone met him in the bathroom. And the clone just went, yes, Peter, I am you. You are me. And this is a gun. And he just... They're let's bring that back.
Hell of an entrance, hell yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But how's this episode of Red Light Homies? Z, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good.
All right. Make sure that y'all leave a rating. 5-star rating, preferably, on whatever platform you're listening to. Z, what's a 5-star rating these people can
happy belated birthday, Jackie, since this is coming out after the fact. And 5 stars.
You do that. It made me feel nice.
It's a nice birthday present,
But also, share, whether that's clicking the crooked arrow and sharing to whatever platform you may want to share to, or word of mouth. Word of mouth is very, very important. If you have a buddy, have a family member that comes up to you and says, hey, I want to listen to two people yap about food and video games for an hour. Z, where do they go?
Well, we can go over to the boys Jackie and Z at Red Light Homies, where these two fat asses do talk about food quite a bit, and they game quite a bit.
Absolutely, and make sure you like and rate. And the outro song, as I said last week, is provided by OGE Canvas. His link will be in the description. He's working on a little custom piece for us, which is very nice of him, so go show him some love.
Yes, sir.
And this was the homies Jackie and Z.
That's me.
And we'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.
Rolling up a little bit of pie. Rolling with some shit that's fine. Fine shit hard on a 9. I'm rubbing on the tabs on the spine. Rolling through in the 8 Wake up, be on the grind. Serving at 6:15. Serving in the 615.